Okay, we started. Okay, I don't know who's going to be on this call, but welcome. Are we good to start?
Benjamin is the...
Okay, nice. Oof, can I mute myself?
You probably need to mute your...
That is muted. Not on this one, no. See if I can sit down, actually.
I'll join so we can see faces as well.
Great. Just see if anyone's got questions. Can someone on the call just speak and see if we can hear you? No, double check it. No, Richie. You can walk in and you're the one that needs. All good? So we just crack on because we are going to be tight for time. So as per the network specification, this is one of the 2 business meetings that we need to do each year. We are making a quick start ahead of the education day that starts at 10. So there probably won't be time for questions, but if you have any, Bernadette's going to keep an eye on the chat. And I want to welcome to Anna, who's in the room, the consultant at Whittington. Nice to see you. The room's still quite quiet, but we may have a bit of movement in and out for anyone online. It gets a little bit noisy. So we've done the welcome. We'll run through this pretty quickly. If there's anything that anyone wants to add in the room, let me know as we go through. So the Red Cell Network, good news, it has been extended for another 6 years. So with that, we've had a little bit of an injection of funding as well, which myself and Emma and Eleanor at UCLH Finance have been looking to understand how we can spend it best and reshuffle the pack a little bit with regards to the HCC structure and who's involved. Again, any questions on that, probably best to email me. Martin, I've seen you on call, so if you get anything that you need for Cambridge, please let us know. With regards to the guidelines, I had a call with Karen Madgwick last week. The sickle cell guidelines are in first draft. The second draft, Karen is going to get to us by the end of February. And then it will be a bit of a job to make the IT work, get all the formatting sorted. So we're hoping to have a final draft ready for circulation and comment to the network by middle of March. Following that, we'll then get a move on with the sickle, as long as Karen's still available, or we'll need to find someone else. And yeah, we'll need to go through the rigmarole of the different. Come on, Andrew. We'll go through the rigmarole of the governance sign-off processes, which I'm sure Emma will support with. With the CRIS, I'm probably not best to speak about this, but that is a sort of excerpt from the letter that was sent regarding it being pulled, which is not great news. There's a comment on there about alternative treatment options. I think they're still being figured out as to what we might be. I'm shaking our head, so that seems right. Martin, I've put in here about the orphan drug loophole that you mentioned on the call the other week. For anyone else that's not been part of that conversation, it's basically saying in a nutshell, there's hope that it could still be available, but it's unlikely because the manufacturers may stop supplying the drug to A for causes control. So, is that Martin on the call? Do you want to
Sorry. Basically, I've not been able to get a clear update on Novartis. They don't know themselves in Utah what they're doing in England. There is no English team that you can talk to. The main update we have was from the commissioners. We had a letter saying it will not be available. I don't know if the audio is as bad as what I can hear. I can maybe type it in the chat.
Yeah. Sorry, Martin, did you say the audio was struggling?
I can hear myself, and it sounds like a robot.
Okay, no, we can hear you fine. That's...
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So the orphan drug status I've not been able to find out any more about. It's something our pharmacists have identified, and I don't know how it would work. If they lose the American market, I would be surprised if they continue to manufacture it. So I don't think it'll be a permanent solution. But let's see what comes out. I'm still waiting for a timeline with regards to stopping the drug. The commissioners have written to us saying that they will come to our site and collect any remaining stock, which I think you should read as everyone stops.
Yeah, and you've had the same.
That's what we're doing, and all the existing stock's been quarantined.
Martin,
so have you already stopped?
We've already stopped.
Okay.
The trust won't be reimbursed. That's basically what the commission said.
Oh. Okay. Is there a lot of stock to go back?
I think quite a bit.
Jeez, well, okay. Cool. Well, I suppose we'll keep an ear out, Martin, for any updates then beyond that. So moving on, this is the lovely front cover that you'll be seeing a little bit more of, hopefully, come next month. The patient guide to living well with sickle cell is now in the final stages of sign-off. We are waiting on one document that was all over the George Marsh on Friday, the school policy. Andrea, you might have seen this. It was written primarily by Professor Dyson, who's now retired, but the last version of that document, it was a guide to school policy with sickle. It's 2016. And UCLH governance want to have someone to contact, say it needs reviewed, or we can't link it. And then there's another document, I forget the subject of it, but it's Sarah Trumpster's just waiting for final sign-off so that we can link that document. So once those two things have been complete, I'll need Emma, your signature on a document. Bernadette's already given me hers, and then we basically get it signed off and we can launch it, which I think everyone's keen to see this because it's been in the making for quite a long time now. The patients are keen to see it, and it's got everything, literally everything that I think you could want in one document, linked to all the broader information, and it's only 20 pages or so not huge. It will be available via PDF online. I don't think the idea is to print out copies and have them lying around, but if people know it's available, they can, in clinics or whatever, launch up the website and it's there and they can link to the correct chapter, so it's all hyperlinked and fairly easy to access it. The click of a few buttons, which is good. We've not got to that point yet, but that's something I think when it's launched in English, we'll do others. So I'll just run through a few of the updates. As you may know, folk on the call, we need to submit a yearly work plan to NHS England. We identified 5 key areas back in March, April last year with the other HCCs, and I've got an update quickly for each of those areas. So the urgent care pathways, I've got the time to analgesia reporting there, not in the best format, but you can see that the 2023 average for attendances in crisis have increased significantly on the previous year. That's down to hard work of identifying patients that are coming in through the front door in crisis. Feel free to have a seat. Then we've got the percentage meeting the NICE guidance. We've still got a little bit of work to do with regards to how that data is captured and what the denominator is. But again, we've got a lot better systems in place than we did 12 months ago. So you can see improvements across the board, really. North Mid are staying fairly static as an average, but they've had a good couple of months recently. Whittington, they're 3 times as good as they were last year. That works. Obviously, we've seen it going on behind the scenes. It's not a coincidence. And UCLH have improved. Their engagement in the last few months has improved as well, but their numbers are still sort of woefully low, and we'll be looking to address that with urgency. We've got another meeting in the diary with UCLH early next month. Martin, do you want to update at all from Cambridge on your side? If you're here.
So we've not made no progress on the Epic build, so we'll have to do our audit manually in 4 months' time when April comes up. I've requested, but I'll nag them again if they could do us the Epic build so we can report it more close to the time of these being recurrent.
Yeah. Cool. So the audit for you will be manual for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And we'll try and get the 2023-24 data in March for the SSQD submission. We still need to make progress with the local hospitals for obvious reasons, really. The priority has been on the SHTs this year, because if the SHTs reporting wasn't good, then it'd be a bit rich to go and start chasing the LHTs, but we'll start doing that again next year. That'll form part of next year's work plan. Again, the HCC, where we can, is trying to advocate for a national mandatory training module within the emergency departments. We've got our own local training, which is being part of the Act now, of which we've got 5 of the 12 selected pilot sites within our sickle network alone, which is good. And then the virtual ward, the HCC will play a part in monitoring the impact of that bypass model at North Mid. So the community provision, there's not really much to say other than the 2 years worth of funding. Yeah. It's up to you. Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing really confidential here. So the community chest funding, that was a small pot of money, maybe 40k or so, I think. The Disability Action Haringey, who are a charity in North London, they've been pumping money into patient events and patient education events and wellbeing sessions over the course of the last year. We've had good engagement, mainly from the sickle patients with that, with the majority of the 120 slots taken up by sickle patients, but I think thalassemia over the last week or two have started to benefit. I think we've had a few bookings, so hopefully with Disability Action Haringey's funding being extended into next year as well, hopefully the thalassemia patients can then pick it up. Would someone mind closing the door over just slightly as it gets busier out there? Cheers. The new community service across North Central London, the Community Red Cell service. We had a patient engagement event on Friday at the George Marsh, which was good. That was a patient's opportunity to have their say about what they would like the service itself to look like. We've got quite a bit to catch up on this week about what they said and get the sort of actions drawn up from that, but overall that went well, and we are still very much in the recruitment stage for a go live of 1st of April, hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything goes well. And then this advocate, whether or not it's possible off the back of that, we'll look at potentially seeing if other community services would be appropriate outside of London. But that's quite a bit down the line. With regards to the data management, I've touched on it. It's much better than it was a year ago. We are back out for the third round of recruitment for a HCC data manager after 2 failed attempts. We're hoping, that's sort of more than just hope, we're confident that this round will be successful. And then with regards to the SHT data management, we're still in a good place, but we have had the resignation at the Whittington, which means we need to go back out to recruit. And I think there's interviews in the second week of February for the Whittington. But yeah, hopefully the new data manager will come in for the HCC and sort of galvanise those at the SHTs. Again, I've touched on the reporting into the HCC with the key performance indicators. You can see from the previous slide about time to analgesia, we've got a whole dashboard of other metrics that we deem to be important to report back on, that will play a bigger prominent role once the community service is live, because we'll see how that changes from last year 2023 into 2024 when it's live and the patient pathways change, and hopefully we'll see the success of things like Act Now, reducing times to analgesia, etc. So we've got a good base with the data management. Again, that's through sort of hard work during the last 12 months. So we're in a fairly good place overall. It's not as negative as it's been in the past. And yeah, I've just put a line in there about the postcode mapping. I've had a few requests recently, so I've popped it in. We do have access to map out patient postcodes off the NHR. We've got contacts for these things. So if anyone would like business cases to be supplemented with that information, please just reach out. It's not difficult to do. And from that, we can also look at the IMD deciles, the index of multiple deprivation. That's right. So yeah, useful stuff to have. On workforce, Emma, you might want to come in on this. Chris and Bernadette have done a great job of upskilling the current workforce, which is what today is all about. The junior doctor relocation, that's went quiet.
No, the junior doctor relocation is still ongoing. I think we've had and are going to have within the network further shortfall in senior consultants who are retiring. And however, we are recruiting. So Anna's been appointed as a red cell consultant who worked in Barcelona for the past 4 years. But I think we need to think about how we can really focus the minds of NHS England and Health Education England as was on this, and the Royal College of Pathologists also. I think that this is, as wearing my peer review lead hat, I think what is highly likely to come out of peer review from sort of informal conversations is that staffing is going to be the thing that is going to be 100% issue for people, for all the specialist teams, those not to teams. So I will be feeding back that information to Diane as a national, and also forwarding the report to Amanda Pritchard, because she has shown an interest in this area as well.
Great, thank you. And with the HCC, like I mentioned about the funding as well, we'll probably look to bolster the HCC workforce over the coming year. Is there anything from online that you'd like to add, Martin, or anyone else that's on there?
So we're doing the the Red Cell Exchange network with potential new consultant roles So half a full-time equivalent in Bedford and half a full-time equivalent in Esneft, as well as 2 band 7 nurses if the funding is approved.
Yeah. So yeah, there's lots of opportunity for new posts to come up, and the HCC will play a part in helping to recruit and plan to make those posts sustainable. We do have a bit of an apheresis update a little bit later on, I think. With the education, I'll just run through some stats with regards to the bite-sized training that, again, is available via the website. Please do continue to push it. I know that Laura from NCL has been pushing it to different trusts that she's been in contact with. She was telling me on Friday, which is good. I am looking to get the user interface fixed so that it's more friendly both for the people completing the training and for myself in the background when it comes to marking and issuing certificates. We've had 55 people start the course and complete at least one quiz attempt. Of those 55 starters, we've only had 9 complete the course and get pass marks. There's been a few more that have completed it but are still waiting to do the retries of different tests. I've taken out the quiz question as well. Well, it was a quiz answer, so I've taken that out last week. The move to the Learning Hub with that SCORM package is going to be in the next financial year. I've got a meeting with the folk that develop them next week, but realistic timelines for that will be next financial year. I can't say when. Hopefully during summer that's something we can get sorted. But again, that's going to be pushed by Act Now. It's going to be on their landing page for any QR codes that they have on posters that go up in the ED departments and on the wards. So we need to really get that sorted. And then, in the spirit of equity, we need to do thalassemia as well. Chris, I'm looking at you. We probably need to get the content for that done fairly soon, so that when they're building the SCORM package for sickle, we don't leave it too long before we need to contact them again, because they've said at the Learning Hub that they're at capacity and it's like months and months wait. So we don't want to get in that situation maybe 3 months down the line. So we might need to do another 4 sessions. Yeah. Do you have any sim, ED sim trainings or ICU sim trainings?
Done ITU sims, epilepsy sim and UCLH. We've done some ED sims in peds and adults in UCLH. Trying to get contact with some of the symptoms that are out of do quite good.
She's on again.
Oh, she's back again?
Yeah, she's back again. Yeah.
Okay, we do that. We have had lots of stuff doing that before. We are going up to Cambridge. Next Friday?
Yeah.
Next Friday we're going up to Cambridge.
No, couldn't do.
Oh, okay.
It's a few weeks, yeah.
And you did that for Kingston.
You've done Bedford, yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. Bedford, Kingston.
Yeah, going back to Kingston and I've got linking up in the plans and things like that.
Okay.
But this year, or next financial year, we want to come further afield, so we'll be in touch.
Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a plea on the education day for that as well, which again we will record and get uploaded to the website for anyone not able to attend today. With actually on education, is there anything from a paediatric perspective, Andrea, that you'd like to see?
we've asked to be included in the 6-monthly cycle for the new trainees. They have every Tuesday morning, like covering all of the essential stuff. So we've asked that we have 3 sessions for you, so we can cover some simple and transfusions and how and where and how
6 monthly cycles, 3 sessions within that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is some like the kind of teaching for the pediatric MCL.
Yeah, great. And I think we're probably lacking for recorded stuff for pediatrics, maybe on the website. I feel like a lot of it's adult heavy. So if we, yeah, cool. So it'd be good to get something like that on the website as well.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and extend that training out to East of England as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, even the Tuesday morning is a lecture like before, maybe beforehand, over halfway to 9 and so
Yeah. Lovely. I'm not too sure why the face is like that, but
it took a lot of harassment to get it signed off mysteriously, despite the fact it was through money. Anyway, there we are. That was my face throughout. Yeah. So we're still waiting, but it's submitted.
Yeah. So you CLH as well. We found out that Helen Keane put in the bid.
She
put in a bid for 2.
She got 1.
Yeah. And we're harassing. Well, Emma's harassing her for the business case. And then the East of England, I put it back on track. That's the last I heard.
Yeah, we have a meeting on Wednesday morning. I think I hope with SNF, and there's one later in the week in Bedford, or maybe next week.
Okay. Yeah, but I suppose there's not really too much to update until that's went over the line.
I've spoken to Kim, Martin, just about how to roll it out, basically. So we'll have some meetings around that to support having having set up an NHSPTA for services Whittington. I'm going to put her in touch with how we sorted it.
Yeah, and we have some rebel provinces of the Bard sector who are keen to join our project, but I'm just worried it might derail everything if we now add additional centers and pediatric centers in. So I've not engaged with that yet until we have our SNF and Bedford plans fully planned and funded, but potentially Bard's I can't remember, I think South Essex and North Essex or someone are quite keen to also include their pediatrics, but we have no pediatrics anywhere else in the East of England plan so far.
Okay. I think ideally they'd go through their HCC.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to join. Must be doing something right. So a patient engagement update was sort of done. Mentioned some of these already. The George Marr Centre, like I mentioned, with the TASK project, the Disability Action Haringey run, they've had funding now extended into next year, which is brilliant because they do a great job and the patients trust them. So that's good news. We've got as well, and this may be mentioned later on today, an expert patient programme starting towards the end of February. That's going to be the second iteration of that. Again, first one was really well received. I think it was self-efficacy and something else, self-confidence or something that the sort of immediate feedback after the course, both of their metrics improved. And I'm waiting to find out whether or not it had an impact on hospital admissions as well. That's solely for North Central London resident sickle patients, that one. But we will look to roll it out elsewhere once we can get more facilitators who are patients themselves. But it can be done remotely, so there's no reason why we can't do that. We've got the diet and thalassemia sessions that Dr. Claudine Matthews, who's going to be here today. Please do introduce yourself and look out for her. She's keen to learn more about thalassemia. She has her doctorate in sickle mainly, but it's trying to bring diet and nutrition into sort of the mainstream of healthcare provision, so it becomes part of the conversation. There is exciting progress on that that she's asked me not to share, but yeah, it'd be good to speak to her and get a word in her ear today if you get the chance. But she's going to do 4 sessions from March. They're not every week, they're going to be sort of once every 3 weeks, just to her capacity at the moment. But again, that's open to everyone within the network, patient-wise, and also staff if they wish to join. Free to join, funded by the network, which is good. 4 sessions of an hour and a half, each one on a different theme. And then similar, we've got menopause awareness and education sessions, facilitated again through Disability Action Haringey and a sort of partner organisation called the M Word. They are running from March 7th through to June 4th, again funded by the network, but there's only 20 spaces available on that course, and it's open mainly for patients, but staff can also join, not just for patients going through menopause, not just for females, but also for anyone who wants to support someone who might be in their life going through it. And it's led by the people on the course. So we're hoping to target that mainly at thalassemia patients in the first instance, and then we may look to rerun the course if it's received well for sickle at a later date. But again, that's open out to the whole network, so anyone on the call that can push that to their patients, anyone they think that may benefit, please do. Ask them to either get in contact or share the links that I'll send round, because we'd hope that that would be a good session for the patients. They did ask for it. It came out of the patient and public voice groups, that was an area they wanted more support in. The patient and public voice groups are expanding. Don't need to say too much on that. I'm going to jump back to the Black Thrive Haringey project. That's at the moment just an idea, but there's potential to do well there. Yeah, they will be attending, Anton, Lynette and Shannon today. So again, they are interested, trying to learn a bit more about sickle and thalassemia. North Central London based charity that have produced 2 brilliant docufilms about mental health. They partner with Mind charity, and I'm hoping that we can bring them in to do a similar docufilm on sickle, probably, and sort of the impact on mental health with their interactions with the healthcare system. So potential for a really good project there that's got the potential to reach quite far as well, and start breaking down conversations. Andrea as well, they have links into schools for the paediatric community if we want to do assemblies and stuff. So they're there today, I can introduce you. And then, yeah, looks like we've made good time. Looking forward, yeah, we need to have an idea about what we do best with the funding and how it will have the biggest impact. The Learning Hub I've touched on, hopefully fairly early into summer, the training will be made available. The new thalassemia metrics, I've still to get the minutes out from last week, but we've sort of agreed on the missed transfusions and days missed off work and study due to transfusions becoming part of the annual reviews, so we can track trends throughout the year and then hopefully change things if we see those trends emerging. The patient guide, again, please help with the launch when it goes live. I'm hoping that will be in February. And then I put a note on here, more as a reminder for me, but the clinic letter footers have been circulated. If you can get them allocated to your discharge letters or wherever they go on, the invitations to the clinic, please do, because it's got important information on there.
Do you know, I'm just clear that we show it to some young people just with,
Yeah. So the paediatric one, I've seen your comment about the double phone. I'll put the URL on there so that they don't need to scan. Yeah.
And then we can just ask them and check the language and
Yeah, sure, not a problem. Cool.
We can always start with it and we can always use it.
Yeah, perfect. And yep, so Education Day will follow very shortly. And as Wendy walks in, yeah, thank you to Pfizer for sponsoring us here, and enjoy.
Can I ask, is there a registration sheet?
Look at the QR code.